Professor M here, and I'm going to talk about Dracula, which here's the second version of Dracula I read, and I read this in junior high and again in high school, and this is the original Dracula that I read, which is a children's kind of version of it, and it is full of all different types of pictures, and it just has some like easy language in it. It's one of those types of books. There's several of them. They're called real reads. And see, there's like Frankenstein, and there's many of them. I read a lot of these as a kid. But basically, it was just the 120th anniversary of this book coming out when Bram Stoker wrote it. And I've always been haunted by the character of Dracula. He's one of my favorite fictional characters, and I just love how Bela Lugosi plays Dracula. He was my favorite Dracula, and Christopher Lee's friggin' awesome too. But both of those guys were just the best Draculas ever. I used to dream about Bela Lugosi and how he'd like creep through the shadows and stuff around castles, and just the shadows. That's what I remember the most. He was just so good at playing that character. Now this book was like probably the greatest horror novel ever written, I would say. It's arguable though. But there's no book like this. Frankenstein comes close, but it's not quite, it doesn't grab you the same way. It doesn't hold you the same way. The characters in this book are just fantastic. Every single character is fantastic. And Dracula's wives are fantastic characters too. And this is the settings, right? Victorian. I don't know if they're in England. No, Transylvania. They're in Transylvania. But I think for part of the book they're in England or something too. Might be wrong there. But just the Victorian era was just an incredible setting for the story. And it's a perfect time for this book to come out as well. It just came out right at this right time. And I think I'll always love Dracula. And this one is a scholastic classic. And I've read a lot of those too. And I don't really know what to say about Dracula other than it's fantastic. I think everyone should read it. And everyone should see the Bela Lugosi movie too. And the Christopher Lee version as well. Because those guys are better vampires than Edward. Because we don't need to talk about Twilight on this channel. I will never review Twilight, I promise. But I will not think twice about reviewing this book. And I give it a 10 out of 10. And I give Stoker a 10 out of 10. Because I've read a couple of his books. And he is the god of horror.